Hello there, it is Ian, and I am here to explain my project for the Create Your Own board game or games for chemistry. I am aware that the project is a bit overdue and that it is late. Uh, this project took a while to complete, more than I thought it would, and that is the reason for its great delay. So let's get started, and I will explain my game, and I will explain the process that I want to make the game, and then I will talk about the objective of the game. So to create this game, it took me around about, I'd say exactly a week and 2 days, or just a week. Um, I didn't have time to work on it in class due to the fact it was on a personal computer, and that really wasn't an issue. I was able to solve that on my own, but that was the reason for its delay. And in my game, I ended up doing mines about Minecraft and wanted to give mines a bit of a story. The story and idea between my game is that you work for a cult called the Chemist Cult, and you are sent on a task to retrieve 3 books and place them back into their altars in a dungeon where the place has fallen to ruins if you do not return these books, because in a way there are as the books that actually control the entire universe. So I wanted to go and use that as a general idea for my game, and that is what I did. And I will explain further on how this works. So let's get started. So you start off the game here, outside of a cave, which will become the dungeon soon, and you will have to walk in. Then you will be able to read this book, and I'll be quiet so you may read this book. Okay. And now that you've read that, you now know that you're supposed to go into this chest and get your gear. I've already done that, so that way I was prepared. You can see that the gear is called the Chemist Cult helmet, boots, pants, tunic, and that you have the Chemist Cult blade with sharpness 1 and it being a stone sword, and you're given some steak to help you with the mobs. When you are ready, though, you're able to just jump in. You'll fall into a little water spot, and then you'll see the hub of the entire game. Once you're here, you'll see a book with a lectern, and you'll read that, and it'll give you this following information that you can read. Okay, now that you've read that, as the book said, you can choose to go down 3 paths. I will go down all 3, so that way your information can be given. And first of all, I'm just going to start by going down to this way, this path. Going down this path, you'll get to your first area of the dungeon. I have little fence gates put up here, so that way no mobs would be able to come at you, because my idea for the game was that you'd have zombies and skeletons all around here, and you'd have to fight them to get back the books. Here, I didn't do that though. For here, I wanted there to just be the idea of it and not have any full length thing going out, just to start it off. But here is the first book. This book goes over all of section 7 and talks about the noble gases and chemical behaviors. I'll be quiet so that way you can read these, and I'll switch the page every 10 seconds. Okay, now you have the first book. And now that you have the first book, you can just quickly just run down this hallway, and we're going to go and get the second book now. The second book is going to cover all section 8, talking about the octet rule and chemical bonds. You can see that this room, just as a side note, was heavily decorated like the others. I wanted to make sure each room had a different key point and that was somewhat still special. This room, I wanted it to be a pond and make this room feel damp. That is the reason, though, for there being water sources on the top of these, causing there to be a drip, and also there being a pond. Now, this is where you'll fight enemies and then get to Section 8 and your second book, which, as I said, is about, let me take the book first of all, which is about the octet rules and chemical bond. So, I'll again give you 10 seconds to read and then I'll flip the page. You could also just, if you wished, pause the video to read the page and then just wait the extra 10 seconds. I'll be quiet now so you can read. Okay, there is the second book. Now we will have to go and get the third and last book, which is going to be covering all of section 9 and talking about what actually sets the mass of the game of an atomic of an atom. As you can see, I did heavily decorate this room too. I wanted the key focus of this room to be this little ledge area part, and I worked with suspension to make it feel like it was taken care of and that it was being held all together. And after you fight all the mobs, you'll end up coming up here just to look down. I thought it would be a nice idea and get your third book and the last book, all about section 9, as I said, talking about what determines an atom's mass. Now, I'll give you 10 seconds to read each page. You can pause it again if you feel that you need to. And there you go. That was the last book. Now, to finish the game, there's one thing that we have to do. And that is take all these 3 books, section 7, section 8, and section 9, and put them all in their rightful place to finish off the game. This is the last room I had set up. I had some other ideas for this room, but I did know that this room was certified going to be the place to put the ruined books, or the books about chemistry. So you'll put your section 7 book here, section 8 book here, and your section 9 book here. And that will allow you to win the game. As soon as you've done that, you've won. Yay. I know, it's amazing. The fact that you won a game and you're a science teacher and this is a science game. So yeah. I do hope that this idea was fun and that the information was really great. It took me a long time to work on this. That's why it was due to the delay, especially just building and stuff like that. Although I do feel that if it was better time managed, actually, and doing my work properly, I would have finished on time. But I wasn't doing that, and that's why it took me a lot longer. I do hope you like the game, and all I can say is that I hope it does good, and I hope you enjoyed the video. And